This war was unlawful and unconstitutional from the start. We didn't have to wait 60 days to reach that conclusion because under the Constitution, only Congress can initiate a war or authorize a war or declare war. The only exceptions are if the United States is attacked or there's an imminent threat of attack, then the president can take action in the near term. That's when the 60-day clock begins, if there's a legitimate reason to begin the war at the start. And there wasn't here. 13 service members who lost their lives, scores of others injured, many seriously injured, highest gas prices now in years. It's pushed inflation up to a high in several years. And of course, the opportunity cost is that we can't invest in hospitals and healthcare, in things that would improve the quality of life for Americans. But this war was plagued from the start. This war.
Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah Hakwadash. Double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. And peace, blessings, and safety to the Lord of Select. This is the brother Yeshaya. And, this is going to be, a quick update, a quick lesson, quick video about the upcoming let's say crash out. Okay, it's going to be a major crash out amongst the majority of these Americans, man. Okay, because you Americans have never been through anything. Okay, y'all don't know how to even lose a job and not go halfway crazy. All right, what about losing, your so-called civil liberties, all right, your right to travel. Okay, uh, yeah, y'all are gonna lose it, man. Okay, in that first test, okay, which happened around um 2019 and 2020. Okay, that test run. Okay, we know what that is. All right, and a lot of y'all failed, and that gave them an overall gauge on how to go about this one, which is gonna tie right and run right into World War III, and also the implementation of the MOTB, which is the micro C hip. Now, I chose this video because instead of watching people crash out, which I love to do, but I said I was going to switch it up this time, and basically this video popped up, and it says Senate Democrats. Now we know that these people, they operate through trickery, witchcraft, war, whatever they need to do, okay, to trick the minds of the people. All right, so this bipartisan system, okay, the Democrats and the Republicans, okay, which actually mirrors, Rome. Okay, this is why it is referred to in the scriptures as the image of the beast. Okay, yep, the image of the beast, man. So basically, it is the image or how things were ran when the ancient Western Roman Empire was running. It's the same thing. Okay, so without further ado, we're gonna hit Revelation 13. Okay. Uh Revelation 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So those bipartisan system, which buys partisan, two party system, okay, was the same thing. All right. The same way the Western Roman Empire, ran, their Congress or their government, the government, right? You got the Senate, okay, which goes back to Rome. So this is nothing but the beast, the beast with his deadly head wound healed. And 12 is going to explain it. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him. Now, first beast was what? The Roman Empire, right? The ancient Roman Empire before it fell. And it's revived now through Babylon the Great, aka America. And causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. So this is all people doing, going to those polling stations and voting for a president, which that's all the way off because Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, is supposed to set up a king, okay, over his people, and that king is supposed to be what of thy nation. Okay, the Lord puts who he needs to be in office as king. Okay, he did it, times before. for certain situations to happen, for prophecy to play out. Okay. But that righteous king Yahushua, all right, and under him King David, that's when the world is really gonna be in its right order. All right. But right now, everybody's finna crash out, man. You're gonna see your work buddies crashing out. Okay, calling your phone, trying to get up with you, man. That's why the spirit is on certain elders and brothers to just try to stay away from people as much as you can, man, because we're in some heavy times, and you don't need to be around people all the time, man, because the demon can jump on them at any time. And if you put yourself around people, okay, of course we are covered, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh covers us, but you can't be putting yourself in any situation and think you're gonna be ironclad or you think you're invincible or something, man. Okay, I've seen and myself, I put myself in certain situations in the truth and got judgments for it. So you can't play with the Lord. If He tells you to do one thing, and your mind is still okay, well, I'm just gonna go hang out. You gotta get up out that party spirit, that Bacchus spirit, man. All right, because judgment is coming to these people, and you don't want to be around them. So yeah, these people are really gonna crash out, man. And you do not want to be around a crash out when he or she crashes out. Believe me. Luke 21 and 25, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth, the stress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Okay. And we always go into this, first and foremost, the apostles and elders of great millstone on down. But we always go into this with, the distress of nations, okay, a narrowing, a contracting part of way, straits, distress, okay. We go into right here, Sanico, uh, G21, G4912, and it's the holding together when you go down to it, to press on every side of a besieged city, of a strait that forces a ship into a narrow channel, of a cattle squeeze that pushing in on each side, forcing the beast into a position where it cannot move so the farmer can administer medication. So you're being put right now, in a basically a cattle squeeze. Okay. They're, raising the prices on everything. Okay. And, regular wage, you need to be making, upwards of damn near six figures to have a decent wage, especially if you have a family. Don't even let me get started on that. Basically, I picked this video because of the war, okay, and I put in the effects of war on an economy. It says, AI overview: war typically cripples economies through high public debt, increased inflation, destroyed infrastructure, and disrupted supply chains while diverting resources from productive growth to destruction. While short term defense spending can boost specific sectors, long term effects include reduced productivity, lower investment, and persistent fiscal burden. So there you go. Okay, they're beating their plowshares and the swords, taking money and allocations away from producing, agriculture, food, certain things that makes the basically this infrastructure run. Okay, and to feed the people, they're taking away from that and putting it toward their military. Okay, that's why World War III. That's why we said this will be a third world war. All right, that's because the Lord said it. It's in the scriptures. It doesn't matter if you see it or not. But here's the key economic impacts of war: inflation and cost of living, massive public debt. So it says, it's trillions of dollars in debt, and you know how they offset a debt? They go to war. Okay, it cleans the slate and they get super rich. But this time, they're gonna fall. Okay, they're gonna get destroyed. All right, there's not gonna be a phoenix that rose from the ash type of situation. Nah, this is gonna be their downfall. Isaiah 14, the Lord said he saw Satan fall from heaven like lightning, basically symbolizing the way and the fashion that this man is going to be taking out is going to be really quick. It's going to be really powerful. Okay. Market volatility. While stock markets often drop initially, they may recover with defense and energy sectors frequently outperforming. There's going to be price gauging going on with this oil. They're going to be manipulating the stocks, so it's all their game, man. Okay, the lower class, the middle class people, lower class people lose. All right, we lose, or y'all lose in this situation, man. No. So yeah. Okay. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes. Chapter 3 and verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. Okay, so right now we are not in the time of mirth. Okay, this is wartime. Okay, this is war. All right, and the Lord needs this war to, come for, not only mass judgment to go out, which that major judgment is that final plague, those missiles. All right, entering the atmosphere and obliterating everything, and also, the chariots of the angels. They're going to be getting busy too, so you can't forget that. Okay, um, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. So right now we are in the times of war. Okay, we are definitely in the times of war, man. People are going to snap. People are going to lose their damn minds. Okay, and you just got to pray to the Lord that, He has a that covering over, His elect, and that you're part of that. Okay, because we know that He has His covering over the elect. We just hope to be a part of that number. Back in Luke 21 and 26, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. So a lot of people are really gonna just lose their fucking minds, man. Let's look up the word perplexity and then we're gonna end it. Like I said, I didn't want to make this too long. Perplexity, right? The state of one who is in perplexity, the state of a quandary. So people are just gonna be, uh just looking crazy, okay? Just going 5150. All right. And the Lord's um men, okay, they're gonna have their wits about them because why? All right, wisdom and knowledge shall be what the stability of our times. Isaiah 33 and 1, I mean 6, 33 and 6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua is his treasure. So we don't really have anything to worry about. We just got to keep going, keep our medicine strong, and hey, we're almost out of here. So I want to give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors due to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and safety to the Lord's elect. Shalom.